Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
Hey, you know what I'm back to doing again? Good morning, Vietnam.
I'm so glad.
How about this one? 65 degrees downtown Vietnam today. We've got napalm coming in from the north. It's going to be a hot one. Is that what he would do?
Now do your Nixon impression.
I think people want to know, is their president a crook? I am not a crook.
Weirdly, that might be your best impression.
Well, I always loved Dan Aykroyd's impression that he once can't get it out of my mind. It's like Nixon writing. He's like, I was born in the house my father built. Dan Aykroyd almost inhabited his impressions. You know what I mean?
Yes, even with a mustache.
He did I was born in the house my father, because I think he was born in the cabin. Is that his whole thing?
I don't know.
No, I'm not talking about the impressionist. I'm talking about Nixon. Boom. I got him again, honey. I got him again.
I just like the way you took
Susan's watching.
Took the sip of coffee like a George Burns cigar again.
Hold on one second. Oh, yeah, he's hurt. Oh, he's wounded, Susan. Yeah. Okay. She's keeping score over there.
Yeah, that's good.
Why would she do that?
I don't know.
What would be the purpose?
I don't know.
You know what song I can't get out of my mind? First of all, Hello.
Which Hello?
First of all, Hello. That's what I'm saying. First of all, Hello.
I thought you meant the song. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Can you make an ugly clay sculpture?
Who's the name of that person?
Lionel Richie.
Oh, I have a mixed feeling because I kind of love all of the Lionel Richie songs and hate them.
Huh.
And I love
that
them
is
all.
That is very much a mixed feeling.
Like I'm rocking. Then I realize I'm not climbing on the ceiling of
all
anything.
night long. I'm white all night long.
Are you saying he's half?
I'm white.
Are you saying he's half white?
No, I'm saying you're white. I was doing you.
I thought you were doing a slam against Lionel Richie. He happens to be a personal friend of mine.
That's great.
And you know what he says to me? Here's the one I love. The Sunday morning one. Is that what on the Sunday morning.
Easy.
Let's go.
Easy is what you're
Easy like Sunday morning. And I just love that song and I hate it.
Well, I think.
Oh, you're easy like Sunday morning. It's a little bit earwormish.
I think you like it and are embarrassed is really what it is.
That's exactly the right analysis.
Yes.
So here's the song. Honey, don't be late. I could barely say. I said to myself, oh, we'll go dancing in the dark. I cannot get it out of my mind. And I'm not singing more of it so that you don't have to clear it.
Whose song is that? Reminiscing.
I think it's Little River Band.
I think you're right. I think it is.
But it's like, here's the thing. The song, you could argue for the song that it's Reminiscence Man in its best way, but it's not.
It's not.
It's not. It's just bad.
It's man, yeah.
It's bad, corny.
I think Reminiscence Man I would do well to come up to that music as Reminiscence Man.
Let me tell you something.
I don't think I'll be reprising Reminiscence Man.
No. You know what? It's almost like you were pointing to a bit. It was hard to almost recreate how horrible it is.
Yeah, it's old school.
You know what I mean?
It's old school hack, first of all.
Yeah.
It's not nouveau hack.
It's still funny for a solid minute.
It was about a minute I got out of it. Unfortunately, it was a 5-minute slot.
Remember Jello? Remember it? Huh?
Slinkies?
Slip and slide?
Remember Slinkies?
Slip and slide?
Downstairs, alone, Paris. Remember?
Huh? Was Razzles? This would be my version of it.
It was really making fun of one person, and we both.
I know who it was making fun of. I could have done the same thing. Was Razzles a gum or was Razzles a candy? We never found out. That's such an old reference. You probably didn't even know the reference.
I absolutely know the Razzles reference.
I know, because it's too popular for you not to know it.
Yes.
So he's going, we're walking through the park and reminiscing. How do you write a song about you and your honey? Honey, don't be late. I know what it is. They're one of those groups that are like a throwback group, right?
No.
Who's Who's the Kit Kat guy? And I got cat smile and I got cat class. That guy. Seltzer. Brian Seltzer.
Yes.
What a horrible name, Seltzer.
It's not his name. Stop.
I mean, why would you have a name? Is this a new comedy style? I keep going on.
It's Rosanna Dana, I think is what it is.
Never mind.
No, I'm sorry. It's Emily Lutella, not Rosanna Dana.
Oh. That's funny because, as you said, Rosanna Dana, didn't she also get things wrong?
No, she just got really. You are actually more like Rosanna Dana because she would go on tirades about the smallest thing, whereas Emily Lutella would go on tirades about the wrong thing.
It was nice when Sherry O'Terry was talking about Barbara Walters because I mean it's hard to remember. It's like if I had been on a Saturday Night Live crew in '75, I go, do we have to make fun of the impediments? I probably would never have been behind making fun of the impediments, but it was done. She was, by a certain point of view, Barbara Walters was the worst of journalism, even though in many ways she was a
pioneer.
Pioneer. That's what I wanted to say. I don't want to put down her whole thing because she did amazing things. She was the first woman to do this.
Yeah.
She was the first woman to do that. And so
why was she the worst though? What made her the worst?
It's well, certainly not the fact that she had a speech impediment.
No, certainly
that would not be it. It was the whole thing, like, and now the Oscars, 20 wonderful people of the year. That's not the worst,
right?
But it's stuff you can make fun of. She was never the worst.
It was make fun of.
I hated The View. I hated The View.
Sure, you can hate The View all day long, and she's responsible for that. And I think that that has to go with her on to her death.
I have no
post-death record, but
well, she wrote a letter to. I mean, not that this matters, but she wrote a letter to Gilda Radner's family when Gilda Radner died.
Yeah.
So I think she took it hard. And it's one of those things like, I can't tell her not to take it hard that someone's going wah, 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 wah. Like that's the main point of, but it wasn't the main point of Gilda Radner's. Gilda Radner.
It kind of was. It kind of
so?
It was kind of was just a speech impediment joke extended.
Yeah, and
I mean, it was an okay impression aside from that in terms of the cadence and stuff about but like Sherry O'Terry's Barbara Walters was far more respectful. And
she was very friendly with Barbara. That's the point.
Yes,
so
well, I'm sure Barbara was thrilled to see a more respectful impression of her, and therefore happy to embrace it publicly.
It's weird though because I saw something with with Bette Midler was on, and he was saying.
I mean,
saying that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Bette Midler. Go ahead.
Bette Midler was Geraldo tried to rape her or grope her, and so he's reporting. Bette Midler's reporting to Barbara Walters that she tried to, he tried to that this happened with Geraldo, and she said, "Oh, that sounds," but she never believed it. Like she never then.
Oh, Waldo tried to rape you.
No, why would you go for that? If I could have done a screenshot of the twinkle in your eye.
There was no twinkle. It was just that was the depth of the impression.
So anyway, the bottom line is I like The View more now that she's gone, and I'm going to watch it more.
She's been gone for quite some time, Andy. I think you would have jumped on that before.
Barbara Walters was in my life when I was young. That she was like one of those influential people, that I would watch, like a Walter Cronkite,
right? But without credibility is the thing.
No, why? Because of the speech impediment?
No. I think you're the one who was saying she was the best and the worst. So I'm trying to get to the word.
I know. Can't we climb down? This is why Twitter's so bad.
She ceased to be a hard news source many, many years ago, but she did have her niche that.
I actually like some of the things she said in the View.
At least she interviewed the people rather than doing specials just talking about them.
No. This is why Twitter is the worst thing in the world. Because in Twitter, you make some offhand comment or you're angry, and then you spend the rest of the day trying to defend the comment.
Right, but this isn't Twitter, Andy. This is a conversation.
I know, and I'm still having trouble. Doing it. Because you're playing the role of the person who enjoys seeing me hung out to dry.
The real problem is I have nothing to talk about, so I'm trying to stretch out the Barbara Walters conversation.
Well, I've got a lot to talk about.
I'm just waiting for my roof to leak again.
Oh my God. Has this been a thing that's been an ongoing problem?
Just during the rainstorms. It was great during the mega drought.
Yeah, like I don't know what people were talking about with the flimsy California construction when we had 7 straight years of no rain.
Exactly.
It was like, what are you talking? Your leak? I don't even. What's
airtight, baby, airtight.
So have you had to have your roof redone ever?
I've never had to have it redone, which might be the problem.
What year? Can you tell us what year your house was? I'm going to say 78. It was constructed.
No, it was much more recently than that.
Why would I say 78? Because I feel bad. Because mine's 82, and if mine's 82, and if it was 81 or 80, it could have had asbestos in it. No. So what am I wishing you the same type of?
Yeah, mine was built, I think, in 92.
Oh, that's one. Did you move into it new?
No,
but fairly new.
Newish. So was that somebody George Santos would say?
I have to admit, I could probably watch a couple of hours of just shots of him, capturing him on the floor while he's, people know he's the worst human. He's like, there's no worse human being.
Right.
Because he just is constantly be like if I was being viewed all the time.
No, he is like a fucking Andy Kaufman character. It's like, how can I be the worst? Maybe a white power symbol. Maybe I'll sit next to Bobert.
And he was at that thing, like it was a CPAC thing is how he got caught recently. He was at some CPAC thing. And that's not how he got caught, but he was really going for the real MAGA type service, Yeah. Like, fuck these people. How do you win in New York with this? I don't understand. I know New York, if you go why am I saying this? If you go 20 minutes outside the bridge in any direction, you're dead. Seriously. Commonly, you're dead.
Yeah.
Music, you're dead. Boom, bang. I don't know why. Assuming that bad music sounds like that. Rascals Comedy Club, you're dead.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder how you would have done there.
I would have done poorly there.
You think so?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
I was a kid. How could I go to Jersey and go?
Okay. Now that you were wanting to say something, do you remember what you wanted to say before? When I interrupted or we interrupted or...
No, I have no idea.
Say, go ahead. Do that. No, fantastic.
This is way back in the Bette Midler thing.
That's what I'm saying. I can't remember that.
It ended with me doing an offensive impression.
Wawa?
Yes.
You look like you're on trial or a civil not disposition. Oh my God. I listened to that.
Doesn't every sort of Zoom kind of thing look like a deposition now after the January 6th commission?
My favorite thing is like, I know that you're into the Zoom world and you go to the meetings and the webinars, but I like when I just want to go to talk to my therapist and all of a sudden now you're downloading the software, regardless of how you feel. Your Zoom is not up to date. Who gives a fuck if my Zoom is up to fucking date?
Right. Now
I'm trying to talk to my therapist.
You got 2 Zooms open somehow, and one of them's at the meeting, the other one's downloading, and you don't know how. No,
my iPhone is doing it, and it did that with my therapist twice. No, I do the things on the laptop, and then I was talking to my therapist, and I was going, "Oh, let me show you this picture of my Christmas tree," or something like that, and then it took over. And then she couldn't see me. And
the handoff.
Susan says I should turn that off.
That's what I said too.
Oh, is that on the main screen?
No. Well, no. It's on the it's in your preferences.
Why don't you go into my fucking preferences if you're such a big shot?
All right.
I wish. You know what? I have said things when I was a kid. A couple of times would go on to this thing of like, oh, you've messed with the wrong guy. Oh, you've messed with I used to have that kind of patter going at some point.
Yeah.
It is absolutely, and they do it on the Real Housewives too. Oh, you don't start with me now. And so, why did I bring that up?
I don't know.
Does it have any connection to what we're talking about?
Mm.
Isn't the show a delightful romp through my early dementia? Isn't that how you could describe the show?
In hindsight, we will.
In hindsight. The lowest part of my mind, the part of the OCD illness, says that the fact that I can remember less things immediately after saying them must be the onset of early dementia.
Well,
that's OCD.
It's not a fair test because most of what you say is so forgettable.
Wait, what? Wait, what? That's I see what you're saying. The things I say are so earthy. They're so universal. They're so it can apply to everyone's life that they're almost interchangeable.
It's like you knew them already. It's like you knew them already.
You know, I'm not getting the same feedback on my internal polls about my career. My internal polls are telling me I'm hilarious.
Well, you're working next week or this week.
Oh, I got scared there for a second. Twitter's getting worse. I don't know if you're aware of it, but it's getting worse because literally, is there a way that you can sculpt your experience? Like sculpt the timeline? Why is my timeline filled with COVID information? How's it come into my timeline?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm probably looking up something like Jimmy Dore.
They're just ads. They're sponsored.
No, I'm saying these crazy doctors.
Oh, yeah?
These crazy, they were MD, went to Columbia, went to Schmickeltown.
Yeah.
And they're telling you one vaccine, the mRNA is actually controlled by a satellite near Venus.
No, I'm sure it's because you're doing Jimmy Dore interactions. And
that's what it is, yeah. That's right. What you're saying, which I think is true, is I could keep the world that I hate at bay. Just don't go to the interactions area.
I pretty much do. Like, I don't have much hate.
So it's a wonderful world.
I don't have a lot of hate in my experience on Twitter.
Well, then maybe it's me.
To some extent, it's because, I don't find it worth it to tweet the jokes that would bring the hate.
Well, here's the thing. I would like to say this to you now.
And I very rarely go for pure opinion on Twitter.
Right, which I do a lot. Yeah. And right now I am tweeting much more harshly because I think the thing is going to all go away. And I don't care about it as much, but then I do care about it a lot.
Right.
But that's why I'm tweeting like, I don't care. I don't care about it. It's not an issue like it was before because I don't think it's the same. It shouldn't mean the same to me. It won't mean the same to me. I still get terrible pain about it, but it's kind of a joke platform in a way. I think. I mean, it's a joke platform in the sense that
it's more like you're throwing garbage into a river of garbage now.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, but
But if every kid did it, can't you see what an icky yucky, no fun world it would be?
What's this?
It's a thing from Sesame Street. Don't worry about it.
What you mean?
It's about littering. It's about littering. It's about throwing.
You're torturing
garbage.
an old man. You torture an old man because you're younger than me.
Yes.
Can't you?
I'm only making a 50-year-old reference. Sorry.
Why don't you polish up on my? Why don't you polish up on my time period's references?
I've done very well on polishing up in your fucking time period's references. I made a living
your own time?
with a puppet making references to your time period.
You couldn't put. I've never seen you take. Are you going into a performative bit?
No, I'm just having trouble with my mic stand, Andy.
You know what's unbelievable is that this is what does make me nervous about our country. That mic stand thing that you have has never not been a problem. It's always on, and then you've probably busted you've routed the bristles on it. Or the bristles don't work because you can't make a goddamn thing in this country anymore that lasts more than 5 minutes. That's why China's beating it. This is what Twitter's like, Jimmy. This is what Jimmy Dore's like. Hey, fuck you Democrats. Now you know what I felt. They have fucking M4A and Bernie is a suck dog. Bernie sucks.
Does he hate Bernie now?
Yes, he hates Bernie. Good. He hates the squad. Bernie, he calls Bernie a war pig. Bernie. Have you seen Bernie? He's not a war pig. You could say Jack Reed is a war pig, but I like Jack Reed. He's a Democratic senator who's involved in the military. I love the guy. But you can't go back and I forgot what I'm saying. Maybe my inner body is telling me it's not that worth it. It's not that you're losing your mind. It's that you're losing your ability to be interested in the garbage that you normally would be spewing.
I think there might just be a lack of conviction. It might really be.
That's true. There's a lack of conviction. Absolutely is. But then you just can't beat. Oh, it's like what's the thing where you try to get water through a thing? You try to get the river through a spoon. That's what this feels like.
Yes.
What's the expression though?
Are you trying to get a river through a spoon?
No. It's more like
is this a camel through the eye of a needle kind of a thing?
No. It's more like a flood.
Threading the needle. Is this?
No, it's a flood. It's a flood.
It's trying.
And your place is flooding. You're taking teaspoons of water out of a thing. Out of a demitasse.
Gotcha.
That's not it at all, Josh. I further confused myself. Where were we? See, that's the thing.
Underwater.
That's supposed to be anxiety. That's supposed to be anxiety, though.
What is the where were we? Well, you have
forgetting.
You have constant anxiety, so it makes sense.
Now you don't, right?
No, I have fleeting and frequent anxiety, but not constant. And it doesn't. I don't have the micro anxieties that you do.
Yeah, because I think like right now I'm not ready to throw up, right. but I'm in my head.
Right. You're worried about if the last thing you said.
That's exactly
is
right.
registering.
A lot of that has to do with that my mother was incapable of hearing.
What's that?
Anything. I said my mother was incapable of hearing anything. My mother.
I know. I heard it that time. That time I was.
You did?
Yeah.
Do you think we would have been the worst duo of all time?
We are. Right? What do you mean?
No, but I mean,
would have been.
No, but I'm saying what we're doing is very intellectual, heady. Because we're on the air.
But it's just like you make the choice to do that joke, and you just go, you hate yourself as you're doing it, and
Well, that's what performing on the stage is.
Funny. Yeah,
that's what's right. That's what a duo's on the stage.
I imagine it is. Yeah,
unless you're brilliant, and even
I enjoy I liked our kind of duo where you did your act and I just made fun of it real time with the puppet. Right. That was fun.
Exactly, but that's not going to turn into a two-hander.
No,
that tours around the country.
No, just because you'd have to tour with the big box to conceal me.
Well, I think one of the best jobs we ever had, one of the best things we've ever done. Your head was about to explode because you were crouching under the desk, when we did that.
The kids' court was not a good puppeting situation. It was terrible. There was no design for puppeteers.
Could they have made it better?
They could have given me a monitor. They could have, there was lots of things that could have been better for me as a puppeteer, for sure.
First of all, if you hadn't been added at was it the last minute or no?
It was pretty close to the last minute. It
wouldn't have been a show.
I sort of put myself in it because I thought that the plan to have a kid, they wanted to have like a kid bailiff.
Oh, right.
Who just sort of looked weird and didn't help you at all.
Well, this is an example.
And I felt like you could use a little help out there.
Yeah. And the fact that that Mike, whoever was Mike Rotman, he was open to all these things. And I just think it's another great story about showbiz is that when you do fight for what you want and everybody makes compromises in the right ways and you make a great product, no question you can sell it and it will be, you'll have tremendous success with it.
Right.
It's a good product, right?
That has been my experience. The good sells itself.
The cream rises to the top, right?
Absolutely.
Am I wrong about that?
Something like that. Unfortunately, the top is not where you want to be.
Why is that? Because
that's not where they're feeding from.
The cream rises to the top. Well, I used to do a joke. The cream rises to the top, then it's skimmed off, and I would make some kind of joke about what they did with the cream. And it was such a funny stand-up. I just, woohoo, woohoo.
So is your in your on your appearance this week on Hacks? Is your character Andy Kindler?
It is Andy Kindler.
That's good.
And I think it doesn't matter I'm not going to reveal whether they're going to throw me up now. I think I say, it's a joke about how old Jean Smart's character is. I say, she's old enough to have suffered depression.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was going to say, don't blow their joke, yeah.
Oh, she's old enough to have suffered from depression and also lived through the depression because she's very old. Now, that's what I would add. And I'm afraid, here's what I'm afraid about my acting, that my desire to get in there, they can't wait to see my version of these roast jokes is ultimately an acting difficulty I have. And so, but I'll still agonize over whether I will be able to ad-lib. And the bottom line will be, it will eventually be a stiff performance that will be really angrily torn apart by the critics.
Huh. So par for the course.
Oh, I don't think that's true. I think critically, if you looked at my Irver, have you looked at my Irver?
I have looked at your Irver. And blah, 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 blah.
I got an email from IMDb, and they said, you can now complete your application. I'm thinking apply to IMDb. Are they trying to make it that you can't look at their crap unless you're a member of some kind of a thing?
No, I think you might have been being fished by somebody.
Oh, this is the same. And they said, you might remember me from when I tried to verify you on Instagram a year ago. I'm that same guy. When you think about phishing that is so obvious, people appealing to my ego, he's like, oh, I would never do, you can't catch me in a scam, right? Unless they appeal to something that sounds good. How would you, in 3 minutes, I'll get you verified. Oh, that's great. I rarely use this website. Let's continue. It's all ego. Right. Oh, or it's ego, and also
they need my social security number to verify me? That makes sense.
Oh, I don't think I've ever done the 2 or 3 things that if you do them, you're dead. So, like, for example, I have LifeLock or something similar. They tell me when something's wrong. They send me a letter. This is totally true. They send me a letter when something's wrong.
Huh.
That can't be good.
That's weird.
That's not like your doctor. Dearest Josh, it has been so long since I wrote you. I've neglected to mention to you that I found what might be called a shadow. Excuse me, I will write later. My wife Hillary would like me to garden with her.
Almost as good as the extortion letter I opened months late.
Oh my God, the extortion letter. You know, it almost feels insulting to be subjected to such an amateurish kind of scam. You know what I mean?
It's all insulting, yes.
Hey, like calling your house. Weinstein, I'm going to come there, punch in the safe, and let's put $100 on your porch right now. $100. Andy on the outside of the envelope. The world's stupidest guy, right?
Yeah.
Right, Andy. Is this Andy? What? Shut up.
Susan, what name should I use?
I do have an idea for a bit that will never be filmed, and it would never sustain itself, and it's just so I could play around.
So it's a Kindler.
That's right. So I could play around with Josh, the other Josh.
The other Josh?
Josh, you know, from the show, from the Dateline.
Oh, Mankiewicz, yes.
Yeah. So my whole thing is, you know, that whole joke I do where I go, everybody hated Cheryl. She wrote horrible songs. Who wouldn't want to kill her? But that's the type of thing. And so in my mind, I fantasize about how Josh is interviewing a series of people who really did hate her. And then like, the joke's over. Joke's over. Boop, 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 boop. So why am I doing it? Because I'd like to call Josh Mankiewicz, and I'd like to do something cool with Josh Mankiewicz. Yes, Josh, Elvis Weinstein introduced us, but I could take it to the next level.
You could just have lunch.
Yeah, I feel bad that I still am not ready for having the... Have you been having tons of showbiz lunches and dinners?
Not tons, no.
But some.
Some, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's, you know, I mean...
Let's do the good ones.
You know who I saw in the supermarket? And I think you will guess who I saw at Gelson's.
I don't have to guess because I know.
Okay, now this does confirm all of my worst suspicions. And here's what my worst suspicions are.
Yeah.
You meet 7 o'clock every morning with all of my nemesis.
Right.
Right? I don't know where you go because you used to go to the Blue Jam. Maybe you go to Jinkies.
No, don't like the Jinkies.
Jinkies is... All right. And
I like everything about Jinkies except the food, pretty much.
Oh, because it is kind of a funky area.
Yeah,
it's like a nice...
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of the Egg and I back in Minneapolis, which was my breakfast haunt.
Did you ever recommend that to me, and did I ever go there?
I have no idea. I did not.
What a great story.
I probably did, but probably didn't retain it.
I've been seeing a lot of things about Minneapolis where I'll see like they go to Minneapolis in the documentary, and there's a lot of places I don't recognize.
Yeah.
So I think I was at a limit. I was on a limited run without a car.
I think you are. I think you know a 3-block radius of Minneapolis really well.
Yeah, and I could be like, there's no market for that, is there? Local guy. Local guy.
Well, yeah, no, local to the warehouse district.
Yes. Hey, I'm Andy Kindler. I'm in the warehouse district this week and I'll give you a report on 3 blocks, on my new show, 3 blocks radius. What's it called? 3 blocks square.
Sure.
Come on. This is somewhat enjoyable.
I'm not
to pretend to be the stupidest guy in the world, literally the stupidest guy in the world, and for you to be to play along with it.
It's like being Carl Reiner to your Mel Brooks. I'm here with the stupidest man in the world.
Huh? I don't even know what you're talking about. What?
Phineas K. Dipshit.
Is this my nose? Is this my hand?
Not
as funny.
No,
not as funny.
No, not if you got to wait for the questions.
But the old guy I could do. Back then with Noah, they didn't even have digital arcs. I guess it's harder than it looks. Moses, sure, I knew Moses. Moses was a guy who used to come and hang around at the Friars Club. Back in 3000 BC, it's not as easy as you would suspect.
Like Noah, who had 2 of every animal, but still couldn't make a chicken. Never got a dinner.
We're fortunate to live in a world where we're still aware of why those were bits. Because I think that's still one of the best bits ever. It's as funny as when I saw Red Buttons perform for Phil Rosenthal's birthday. And Red Buttons referred to his son. He said, my son came in and said, "Good morning, Mr. Buttons." And he did many jokes like that. That his son was like a valet for him.
Yes.
And I have to
admit.
Like
Phil Rosenthal, who said to Uncle Ben, "You're a credit to your rice. Never got a dinner."
Okay, what's the one with Lot? Lot said to Saul. Is it Lot and Saul?
No, Lot was...
Butter I need, sugar I don't.
No, salt is really the joke with Lot.
Or how's it go?
I don't know.
Salt I need. You do know.
Pepper I need, salt I got is probably what it'd be, something like that.
And the great this and that. I was watching the other night. It was Dionne Warwick, which was a very good special. And all of a sudden they show like someone
like Dionne Warwick, who knows the way to San Jose but doesn't know how to get to my house on time. Never got a dinner.
All of a sudden they were showing her saying something, but then I realized it was one of those Dean Martin roasts type things.
Oh, yes, when she was talking about dating Sammy Davis Jr.
Yes. Whenever you see those in any context, and certainly in a documentary, your mind jumps goes, "Oh, that's one of the..." You just think about that. That's that they stayed there. They weren't even there sometimes during those roasts. Isn't that the truth? Maybe not during those roasts.
No, they did. I think they shot pickups.
Oh, well, Sammy was there.
No, they were all there, but the order in which things were shot, and the inserts and everything were all.
Oh, so I'm wrong in saying that there was ever anything shot when they weren't there. They were always there, but it wasn't just like one night.
Well, what I think wasn't there necessarily was the audience.
Oh
at all times.
Then why are they laughing so hilariously? Like Sammy's laughing.
Exactly.
I liked Sammy as a kid. I really did like Sammy, and then I got disappointed in him for his politics, and then now this is why when you were raised as a Kindler, you have to make a decision. Do you like Sammy Davis Jr. or you don't like him? No, but I find different things. I like him. He's funny sometimes. No.
It's really a process of grudge examination, like so many things. Remember you have a grudge against Sammy Davis Jr., but don't even remember why. You just know it's there. And then you go, "It's Nixon." That's what it was.
Right. He kissed Nixon, he kissed Archie Bunker.
He kissed Archie Bunker, but he kissed up to Nixon.
Right, but it's like, I think it's not a helpful thing in my family to be that judgmental.
I think it's a waste of energy, first of all.
Yeah. Unless you're using it as judgment to do comedy, but as soon as you do judgment, that starts to make you feel bad.
But anything that you store as anger,
yes,
is detrimental as far as I'm concerned.
I think you're right. Absolutely. But I'll tell you one thing: Chuck Booms better not come into this goddamn house. If I see Chuck Booms,
boy, that's a name I have not heard in a long time.
Was that pretty good? That was good.
And right away, kind of made me go, "Oh, what the little fucking piece of."
He did the comedy on delivery. When my pilot didn't get picked up, he did my comedy. He did this show called Comedy on Delivery. I'd done Andy Town. Comedy on Delivery got picked up, and he was like one of these insult.
Like
comics.
you were both developing in the same batch.
Yes.
Okay.
And they picked up instead Comics on Delivery. Comics would go help somebody, and of course they used me because they
just to rub it in your fucking face.
But he was one of those guys who he would light comics. You know, he would cut the sound to the mic.
Yeah.
The middle act was going too long or something, or he thought they were going too long.
Right.
And then, you know, the thing that's amazing about him, he's like he was acting like an asshole for humorous effect. And, you know, what's amazing about him is how far he got with that.
Yeah. Up to his Comedy on Delivery show. And then off to oblivion.
I really do want to do a show, and it is a mean-spirited show. Where are they now? Like Mark V. McCullum. And I'm talking about I'm harassing them wherever they are now.
Right. I told you'd be nowhere.
No, that's a little bit too on the nose. I have to interview them, and it's like, where are you now? And then at the end, I go, you know
I met and saw Mark V. McCullum last year.
You did say that, but I don't remember the story. He came to the
Rich Scheidner show.
Oh, how is he doing?
And he went, Josh, this is Mark McCullum. I went, Mark V. McCullum? And he went, yeah.
Did you do that again to him?
I did.
That's not nice, Josh.
No, I was just trying to let him know I knew who he was. I think he wasn't that happy that I remember.
Mark V. Boo. And how is he doing compared to Lubner? Who's that guy? Randy Lubner.
I think he's doing better than Randy Lubner, just by the way he was dressed.
One of these days, I'm going to do a podcast about all these people. Where Danny Mora, who was a Comedy Store comic, who's a comic who told me, "Can you middle?" And I said, "I have 30 minutes." He goes, "There's more."
Never got a dinner. Oh, sorry.
But he said, "There's more to middling than just having 30 minutes." And to me, that still delights me today when I think of that. I mean, I know the argument he's making. If you're an opening act, you get a certain. But when the middle act, you must. But
that's
what did he expect?
By the way, that word is completely last generation.
Danny Mora.
No, the middle act.
Yeah, that's going to be gone.
It's been the feature for years now.
Yeah, even in America.
Even in America.
So what's the headliner called? The headliner.
The headliner and the feature and the MC. But we called them the middle. I was a proud middle.
That's because I think we saw through into that it was a little bit formulaic, this whole comedy club boom.
It was.
We acted like we invented it, first of all.
Well, and I think feature act was a self-esteem move.
I thought that was Canadian, where they used to come out and have the headliner MC.
It might be. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the headliner who MC'd, but the second best act would MC.
I used to like in England how mean the comics were. I didn't like how mean they were. But, for example, they would tell an American comic, definitely in your intro, give all your credits. And then that would set them up for failure because they don't care about it, and it makes them angry.
Doesn't make them angry.
I mean, it makes them angry because they don't, it's like they just not, it's not.
They've never heard of any of your shows either.
Right. But even it's just considered to be, it's just, like the moments when you are in a theater and people don't know who Bill Maher is, or they didn't know who Chelsea Handler was when I went to Australia. It makes you feel good in a way that the poison has not spread that much. Bill Maher is not popular at all in England. That makes me happy.
Right.
But he's not popular here either. This is a weird where the body is buried.
No, that's not really true. It's just, I mean, he's not popular in terms of, the hottest comics, but he can still fill a theater with people who came to see him,
Right. Do you think it's still a good show like the HBO, regardless of the fact that I hate it, but the HBO goes, oh, that's a solid show for us. Is that what you think? Because I think it's. I don't know.
I don't know. My suspicion is it's an affordable show. It's a show that enough people are in the habit or have set their DVRs to.
So they don't have to. It's nothing. No skin off their.
I think it's kind of a no skin off their nose proposition.
Yeah. Is it a union? I think it's a union show too.
I'm sure it's a union show. Yeah.
I'm talking about Writers Guild.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, Watch What Happens Live isn't. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Have you ever watched that?
Not live.
This is just a sample, folks, of what we used to do at Skeeter and the Jew. We went all over the Midwest. My favorite bits were where you had to say, and I'm very sorry.
See,
folks.
but I have to go back through and edit this, so I will hate myself like triple fold for some of this shit, and then once in a while, I'll go, okay, that was fast.
Wait, what am I doing? What are we doing wrong?
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about myself, my own performance. That when I do when I do some shitty dad joke or some shit like that.
How do you
in conversation, it just kind of goes away, but I have to
Right.
circle back and hear it again and go, oh fuck.
Did you enjoy all the football? It was some good football.
I didn't watch a ton of football this week. I watched the Buffalo game.
I mean, that game was there was a game I watched.
You were watching the Jets at that same time.
I trying to, but
I was watching it going, why am I watching the Jets? There's a good game on.
That's true. Wait a second. Oh, I'm mad now. Oh, you don't want to get me angry. And what would be the, why would you be getting angry? That he's pointing out that a bad team is bad? That's why I would be getting angry. But the thing that happened with that player, I still can't pronounce his name. Dahmer Stevens. Number 3?
Number 3, let's go with, because you just fucked my head up.
Well, it was something. It was like the fact that it was just a wonderful thing that people could feel for him and all this stuff. But there was this one, I was watching a thing, was like, a Cincinnati game. They were like going, after a Cincinnati person was like going, yes, it's really a game. And it's like, the whole point of what he was saying was basically, even though we don't like the other team, we don't want them dead.
Right.
That was basically the point. It seems kind of silly in a way that you have to say that, but
and the whole outpouring. I mean, well, it's certainly nice for him, and God bless him, and I'm so glad he recovered.
Yeah,
but to me, it's like the sort of subtext of all of this is, whew, thank God we didn't watch a guy die.
Well, I think you're right, because I think it definitely brought up for football players and what we were watching.
No, but not thank God he's not dead. Thank God we didn't have to watch a guy die. is really what I'm saying.
No, but don't you think like I'm
not saying that's the universal thing. Right. I think there are many well-meaning people who are sending all the right things, but I feel like what makes it so important is the fact that everyone saw him collapse and thought that they saw someone die, basically.
Well, and you know what? I know I don't normally do this. Make it all about me.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I still was a very traumatic event, because I remember the name of this player, Marshall Starks. I was maybe 9 years old. He got hit. My dad had box seats, which was ultimately not the way to go for football. You should go one level up. But I could really see a guy on and he was laying there on his back in a convulsion, because he had swallowed his tongue. And it was a very traumatic. And my parents, like my dad, was not someone who would go, I know that looks disturbing, son, but don't, or something, or dealt with it at all. So I can imagine how shocking. And they released his tongue pretty quick, and he was okay. But just to see somebody, it looked like they were dying, So I can imagine how those people felt in that stadium when you saw that event.
That's how bad it is in the NFL. His tongue fucked up and they released it right away. That's.
First of all, is it right that you can swallow your tongue?
You can swallow your tongue if you're unconscious.
That's what was making him go like this, was that he was getting no air into his lungs.
Yeah. Bad day at the office.
Marshall Starks, he died a couple of years ago. They never got a dinner. And have I told you the story? I don't think I've told you the Jerry Arrigo story.
He did get a dinner, but it was unfortunately they served him tongue.
But I don't know if I've told you that. I know I've told you the Jerry Arrigo story 50 times. So.
Sure, but go for it. It's on your head.
No, I don't want to say it again. I'm trying to think. I need more sports stories. I have the one about Matt Snell, which was one of the greatest things in my life, where he wrote to me from the Air Force Reserve. Best of luck in all your future undertakings. That was like the greatest thing. He probably didn't know how great it was, but what a great thing to do for.
Was he a Jet?
Matt Snell was a fullback on the New York Jets, 1960. He was on the Super Bowl team.
Gotcha.
Matt Snell was the fullback, 41. Emerson Boozer, number 32, was the halfback.
Huh. Good.
There's no way you could know.
How about this year?
Isn't it someone named Saucy?
Uh-huh.
Sauce? Chad Pennington is their quarterback.
Uh-huh.
Mark Sanchez. We used to call him Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
We thought he'd be a franchise player.
Yeah.
They have just optioned. I'm not lying. Vinny Testaverde is 63 years old and has a tape of him knocking the top of the Letterman Christmas tree accurately, because that's the one where Jay Thomas came out because he couldn't. Well, what used to be at the top of the tree, and Vinny Testaverde couldn't hit it with a football.
Huh.
And then Jay Thomas came out and hit it with a football.
And
so for years, people would remember Vinny Testaverde not being able to hit the top of a Christmas tree. I think he put a ham on top. What's that? My wife is saying pizza. My wife is here now.
That's fantastic.
What do you think of that?
I think it's awful for you.
Do you think she was here before when I said that?
No, I did not.
God damn it, my acting. Susan, what's going on? She's good. All right. So, what did that prove?
It proved we're done.
Gonna take a little break. Gonna take a little break now. Gonna take a little break. Gonna take a little break now. Gonna take a little break. Please stop talking for a moment. Take a little break now. Gonna take a little break. Please stop talking. Gonna take a little break. If it's in your power, break now. Gonna take a little break. Just stop talking. Gonna take a little break for a minute. Gonna take a little break now. Gonna take a little break so I can stomach another hour. Gonna take a little break now. Gonna take a little break.
Hey, Josh, I have to warn you. And I have to warn you, but anytime I have to multitask, it's a big thing over here.
Okay.
I'm waiting for FedEx package. They are going to come before noon, and they're going to ring the thing.
Is waiting for a FedEx package actually a task?
It is when I think you're right that it's officially not a task. It's
okay.
That's not even really a favor. Susan's sleeping because she sleeps during our show, even when she's up.
Uh-huh. If it wasn't for people sleeping during our show, no one would get to the end.
Yeah, yesterday I was on the set. I'll tell you all about it. Everybody wants to know. But I was on this set of a show, and I'm not going to talk about it later. And what the hell? Oh, God, I can't use it now.
What?
I can't use it now. Well, okay, what's my one thing? What were you just saying?
It sounded like you were going to talk about your day on set.
No, I wasn't yet. Forget. It's not. Okay, so anyway, here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
There will be a sound. Neither of us can get up, Susan and I. I get up for the show because apparently
emotionally.
Josh Elvis Weinstein, his idea of, who's funnier? You go, let's do it in the morning. Who's not funny in the morning? And I said, okay, buddy boy, because all I do is give. I give. When I'm done with that, I take and take and take.
Right.
So,
which is today?
Right.
No, I mean, which one? Is it a give day or a take day?
I think I'm taking. I'm taking and giving.
I'm feeling like I'm giving more than receiving.
Well, the love you take is equal to the love you make.
It's true. Well, it's not true.
Ooh.
It's not true, but it's a song.
Oh, that's the thing. That's why you're such a cynicist. Nobody knew on the set who Norm Crosby was. Anyway, seriously, except for Gene Smart, I dropped the name. Oh, by the way, I put a satchel on the floor now. So when I drop the name, it just goes right into the satchel.
Oh, nice.
And I pick them up at the end of the day.
My bag of names.
So Gene Smart, I can't talk about it right now. So when the FedEx package, third delivery, this is the third delivery. This is go time now.
Yeah.
This is the third time they've tried to. So you're going to hear in a loud sound like there's an emergency here.
Okay.
Then you're going to hear me answer the phone.
I'm going to see a panicked look on your face.
Panic look on my face.
Yeah.
And then I have
I imagine I'll see you running around in a small circle behind the chair with your arms in the air.
Well, before you came, I had my coffee on to my right, which is towards the door.
Okay. That's good. It's like Rob Petrie with the baby.
There's no doubt that the coffee would have gone flying if I hadn't switched it, because I'm thinking all the time about what I need to do.
Being between you and the door is more dangerous than being between you and a camera right now.
I love all those jokes about people. She'd go to the opening of an envelope if she could. All those people love to be on camera. Not me, of course.
No.
But years ago, I like this. Years ago, Phil Rosenthal said that, Doris Roberts will go to and now, look, rest her soul, rest his soul. Sorry. Oh, no, Phil's alive. And he said, Doris Roberts will go to the opening of an envelope. I laughed till I ached, and I said, did you write that? And he says, no.
I wasted some ass kissing.
No, I wasted some originality laughter. That's yours? Like that.
No.
I was on this. Thank you for asking, Josh. So I'm just warning you. I also have to maneuver. Here, I got this to maneuver too.
Okay.
Have you ever seen real N90, not a KN95? It's a 95 where it starts at the top and goes to the bottom.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Want me to show you? No, you don't want me to show you.
I prefer the KN95 because I don't like the behind the head strap so much.
Who likes it? I got sold on the fact that it's better, which it is, because it's sucking. You cannot even breathe in these on your own.
Right.
I got a funny chunk about the masking. Yeah. I can't wait to get back out there.
No one else is talking about it. I think it's fresh turf.
What is the deal with these people who, go down south. If I'm going down south, what is the deal with these people who are so crazy about masking? Fuck it. Fuck the mask. Then I'm up in Minneapolis. What's the deal with these fucking people who won't mask up when it's appropriate? What's the only thing wrong about that story?
Your crowd sound?
Yes, because I wouldn't get a reaction in either areas to that. First of all, I wouldn't go down south.
You do that better than you do crickets, though, so I understand why.
If I wouldn't go down south. Oh, I saw an Australian yesterday.
You saw
and he was doing an American accent. He was an actor. His name is Luke Cook.
Uh-huh.
An actor. He helped me. He says, look. He was trying to help me. You know it already.
Right.
Pants. They're pants. That's what makes them weird. Pants. So they look like yoga pants. No, they look like dress pants. They look like dress pants, but they aren't. And they have to say, but they aren't like that. But they aren't. They're yoga pants. I still don't think it sounds good. Now you take it. Take it with the new information. They look like dress pants, but they aren't. They're yoga pants.
They look like dress pants, but they're not. They're yoga pants.
See? Pants. Because you don't make us... Okay, so you make this... Oh, God. I hope after I take your master class...
That's right.
Your master class on voiceovers, or whatever it is your master class is. Impressions.
I don't do a down under. I do a from under accent.
So... I'm on the TV show Hacks. I play a comedian who roasts...
Named Andy Kindler.
And I kept one of my biggest, funniest running jokes, was that Patton was booked at the last minute. And I kept saying, you must be playing comedian number 4. the fellas at the craft service table. Now that's what would it be? The grip dropped his grip. The grip dropped his thing.
People love it when the guest actor has a running joke throughout the day.
Okay, I want to talk to you about this, Josh.
Okay.
You remember the original concept of the show was let's go up Andy's ass and see from the inside out what is wrong with him.
Sure.
And that you would be even at one point we said that you would.
Josh puts on the miner's helmet.
And mine's for neuroses.
Yes.
On
another rich vein has been struck this week.
Okay, so I think I can remember now what I was going to say. What would I be saying now?
What prompted it was me saying that's what everybody wants is a guest actor.
Yes.
with a running gag.
Thank you. Yeah. The first day, there were 2 days of activities. I was shot on 2 different days.
That's good.
As we call it in the business. And the first day went pretty swimmingly, but the second day, I could feel myself. This is what was going on. I want to Robin Williams this. I want to Robin Williams this. And even worse, I got a good one now. I'm going to get in there. Not for the lines in the thing. For the banter around the shooting.
Okay, great. That's fantastic.
No, but here's the thing. Like I love Hannah Einbinder. And and so I wanted to talk to her. And I don't think I've ever actually physically met her. So I was talking to her and I was realizing she's, first of all, one of the nicest people in the world. She was with around 3 comics who were me and Pat, and we were trying to dominate the conversation. And so I tried to jump back in, and as she was talking, I said, "No, go ahead." No, she goes, "No, go ahead." This is she. Even though she is a stand-up, she doesn't have that stand-up. I'm going to tear you apart and be funnier than you.
Also, I'm the star of the show, so there's nothing you can hurt me with on this set.
Yeah, that's good. But I can't. I don't think you can mistake. She's I know her dad's Jewish. She does not have Jewish neuroses on any level. I mean, as an actor, she does, but she's not neurotic at all. And so it's just like
I bet she is. Maybe
that's
just
the
not
truth.
the same
That's
as
the truth.
you.
That's exactly the truth. This is what, and I think this is the crutch of the problem. Crutch? That's not okay. That's what bothered me. Nobody knew who Norm Crosby was, and I couldn't think of one malapropism. Give me one go-to I can always go to.
No, I can't. I don't want to.
It's a very. I always go like this. It's a very excruciating experience. No, it's very excruciatingly. It's something where he uses excruciating.
There's no point in doing Norm Crosby all over the place.
Gene Smart said to me, I'm not kidding. I said, "What's the deal here?" Just goes, "We're old. That's why." Because me and her were the only people who good. We're old. She was extremely. But it was this thing. Here's what the thing was. Just not being able to not be conscious of how much I was participating and holding myself back. None of it's bad.
Right.
Because I think if you don't have that editing thing, then you're really sunk. If you have Robin Williams syndrome, you never know. It's always about you. And God rest his soul and your soul. And
I mean, God bless you for having the self-awareness to recognize it and even name it.
What did I name it?
Robin Williams syndrome.
Robin Williams syndrome. It is. And God rest his soul and bless his face. It's a thing where if you don't, okay, so if you're progressing well in therapy, what you should be doing is first understanding what's going on with yourself and then acting accordingly. So my therapist says, I'm so nervous going there. Well, I'm nervous. It's like, no matter what you do, she said, you're going to be nervous going there. You have to remember you're going to be nervous going there.
Right.
So, like the second day, my big fear always has been, I'll go down to open up the garage door and I won't know where the opener is. Right. So I worked 12 hours on the first day because we did like a fake roast. And so I came home, it was like so late at night and God damn it. It's like 45, I wanted to leave an hour before. It's like 45 minutes before I'm throwing everything. I hate myself. I hate I hate your stupid face.
I hate your stupid face. Andy Kindler, we hate your stupid face.
So, but I figured it out. I got like a grown man. I figured it out. I told Susan, I said, look, we don't like to take lifts because we're worried about the pandemic or whatever. It's better for me. I'm going to be on a set. No matter what they do, there's going to be people around me. So it's like I should schedule a car every time I'm working. If the car doesn't come, which sometimes happens, my car's the backup.
Okay.
And I think that I have solved that problem, but not solved the problem of why is this guy 66 years old and complaining about things that he should have gone through when he was 30, and he can go fuck himself with him and his problems.
Huh. That part's not necessary, probably.
Right, but here's yeah, I don't care. I got it from me. I'll write you a line to tell me how great it was. Okay, I have a question to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you never worry about that because you don't do it? I mean, you come in with a joke about how much I'm contributing to the conversation, how much I should let someone go.
No, no, it's not that. None of it's that deliberate. I don't think for me. But I certainly have self-consciousness if I'm in a group of comics on a set, like if I'm in, I certainly. I think I have enough self-consciousness to go, where do I fit in? Yeah. In this picture. Right. But I also am someone who goes, well, Patton and Andy have got this. I'd wait for my little, my perfect openings rather than trying to go for all of them,
Well, and this was the type of thing where it was a fake roast, so it was a really clever show because the idea is that Jean Smart's being roasted, her character's being roasted, and then Hannah's character is like, oh, it's so vile, these roasts. It's just so funny because the Jean Smart character is to the point in her career, you do them. Right. You don't like them, you can do them, all right? Yes. And so she could divorce herself from the feelings of most of show business. Yeah, exactly. And those are the good when she can't are the great moments on the show. But exactly. And so it's Mario Cantone was the host, right? He was the host of the MC. Yeah. He was the MC of the roast. And so, there were all these gay jokes because we were actually trying to make fun of how many gay jokes there were. But the running bit was that Jean Smart's character keeps going, come up with something. He was so gay that when he was born, whatever. So she does it to him and he's laughing. But, I talked about him backstage and he's saying this is based on, obviously, he said it was pure hell for him in the 80s and 90s being gay. And it was he goes, unless you've experienced that kind of hate, it's very, I'm not, and that's just the other comics. All right. And so it was that's why I like the show because he was playing along as the character, laughing really hard when he really knows that's all he's heard his whole career is that the guy got so gay, he's up this way. So it's kind of a weird thing because it gets the point that things are hack. Right. Right. But then the other way, we're all kind of hacks. We got to get through it. And there's parts of everybody's life where they're like hacks, right. Where it works. They wanted to call the show, Gene told me, The Queen. They wanted to call it Hacks from the beginning, but the network wanted to call it The Queen of Nowhere. Ouch. So I think it's I could see how people would be resistant to the name, but I think the name is perfect for what it describes. It's great. Yeah, so it was a positive 2 days. I'm sorry.
The show hasn't. The 2 seasons haven't let me down really, but I'm in love with Jean Smart's acting. So
yes, and also Marcus is the guy who plays Marcus. No,
it's a strong cast. Absolutely. Yeah. The only I think there was Laurie Metcalf came on for those characters.
They've had a lot.
A little too broad, a little too big, but.
Oh yes, and that's I think the only danger on shows like this is that you can go slightly unreal. Right. So when I run my shows, I always like to keep it. What am I saying? I'm not running a show, so. but it's you can't.
Can you fucking imagine you running a show?
I just don't feel this is authentic. It's not authentic.
You have 15 people coming up to you in 10 minutes asking you questions and decisions to make.
Where is that guy? Is he the boom guy? I think he was, seriously, I'm not kidding. He was looking at me funny during the takes.
No, don't fire him.
No. Just get him to somehow, the answer is for him to somehow come up to me.
Yes.
Yeah, to him, if he would only smile at me. So here's what I realized as like a lifetime, because this is a funny part of the show where the daughter does stand up in the roast with the mom, and she kills. And she goes, I finally get you, Mom. Because the daughter has drinking problems. I finally get it.
Right.
You need this. But the problem is you need the group that makes you laugh, that you're making laugh. I can go to a group therapy. Your group is the crowd. So it's like, which is really true. And, I really felt that the last couple of days, my own pain was like, I really want to get laughs from the people around me.
Yeah.
And if not that, smiling. And if not that, definitely not, oh, this fucking guy.
Right.
This guy. I mean, there's Jewish, and then there's, there's this, it's like he's having fun, and then there's it's all about Andy.
Well, that's the poison is, this is from my
show running days.
No, this is from Debar, my sort of being able to plumb the narcissistic mind. And with him acknowledging it's a narcissistic mind, which helps.
Yeah.
But it's like to him it's like the eye roll is the knife. The eye roll that's the biggest ego poison there is,
Is that kind of thing. Is
that eye roll.
This
guy. That eye roll.
Yeah, I didn't get that in the context. Yeah, the eye roll is the worst because you can't un-eye roll an eye roll.
Right.
Because it just is like at that current moment, what an asshole. Or what's this guy? Oh, look at grandpa, whatever.
It's primal. You're seeing something from within that you can't unsee.
So there was part of the day yesterday for some reason where I didn't have a lot to do yesterday. She does the roast and she comes to the bar. So I think having not a lot to do, then it could get my mind churning, and I kept standing around going, why would somebody? That's not why would somebody like me? It's always why are you so needy? And that's actually progress.
Right.
And I hope, but I'm going to die soon, so I hope it moves along fast.
We're all needy, but and it's also been 3 years since you've been in a group of comics, really?
That's true. I put the me in needy, don't I?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, so that's exactly what you're saying is right. Plus, it's my favorite. I love the show. And I was telling how much I love the show, and then they told me about an episode. Did you see them on where she goes on a lesbian cruise?
I did, yes. That was one of those moments where I was talking about earlier, where she sees where she realizes where she can't be feelingless about the eye roll. She gets the eye roll on that one.
I can't believe I missed that one. Margaret Cho's on that one, I think.
I think so.
So anyway, onwards.
Well, while you were living your glamorous showbiz life,
What happened?
I was in the homeowner trenches all week with the.
Was it leaks?
Well, I had tons of leaks, which I think we talked about on Monday, and but I was like fucking homeowner ninja this week. I was so proud of myself.
What'd you do?
Well, I tracked down a gutter guy, which is not easy in the midst of bomb cyclones.
Is there anyone here still cleaning their own gutters? I get up there. That's from that commercial, right?
Yes. Dad?
Yeah. It wasn't that company, I pray.
It was not that company. But I had unfortunately been talked into getting these gutter mesh sort of years ago.
Oh, so it goes through at the same time.
Yeah, it's just, it stops leaves from getting in your gutters. But this was basically just steel mesh on top of the things.
Okay, got it.
It keeps leaves, but there's a ton of other shit that goes into your gutter. So basically you just end up with a packed tight,
right,
with a lid on it. So I had to, it was really hard to find a guy, but I finally got a guy, seemed cool, came out the next day when he said he would, gave me a 20-minute warning that he was going to be here. It was all those really good signs. And he gets here and I'm like, well, first question is, when can you do this? I'm in bad shape. We took out a lot of water in a couple spots. I caught most of it, but
have you done this yourself before?
Clean my gutters?
You just can't do it yourself.
I have this super tall fucking house. There's no way I'm getting up there.
Right, and there's no safe way to do it.
No, but I had neglected it. I had neglected it badly because I was lulled into, mega drought.
Oh, that's right. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Who would have ever suspected it would rain again?
So he comes out. I go, like, he's like, well, if it's not raining Saturday, I could probably get it in that. And in my head, I'm going, well, it's going to be raining Saturday. So I just go, well, okay, well, let's take a look anyway. And he surveys it all, and he goes, and with a lot of extra work of I'm ripping out the mesh basically,
right?
Which was a bad idea, but well installed. So it was like $600. And I go, okay, well, that's a perfectly good price in my head to get out of my crisis. And I go, well, that's a good price. If I gave you $1,000, could you get it done before Saturday? And he went,
this is great.
And he went, I'll get you in Thursday. So,
that is so good.
And he was very happy. And he came yesterday, did the whole thing. And I'm like, thank you so much. You saved my ass. He's like, hey, we helped each other. You gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. I was happy to do it. Was
he an individual guy, kind of?
Yeah, it was his business. I mean, he had guys working for him, but it was just like one of those sort of perfect.
That's so great,
perfect
Josh.
Piece of business.
It's like a Jewish
don't you wish it all went that way? Yes.
and this is like a Jewish home run because, beyond the stereotypes, I have that thing in my cheek, but I also have a little thing genetically. Don't rip me off. My people have been persecuted.
Right.
Type of thing. So
and then in the meantime, I also had another fucking water heater thing. And I was like, saw it, called the plumber. Plumber was there within an hour. Gone. So I'm just like homeowner ninja right now.
Well, did you say this already on the show, or you were telling me how why do I hear that you maybe it was a text where you think about, you get the price when the price is lower, you're just like amazed at the price is lower.
No, I tweeted at that.
Oh, you tweeted.
As a homeowner, I will always, whenever I have something to do to my house, I will do the what should it cost estimate in my head that's based on nothing.
Yes.
And I'm always wrong. And sometimes I'm wrong, like sometimes I'm super high and sometimes I'm like crazy low, but I'm never right. What just happened?
It was sad, it was sad when that
internet
went down.
The last sentence you heard was 8 hours ago.
Right, right.
So there was 8 hours. In fact, in my case, 8 really frustrating, really annoying hours.
What, because you kept trying to get back on, or?
No, I had just like a series of really bad, annoying things. Nothing that's really like important bad.
But bad.
But just like
to pile on
like,
bad.
Oh, life, you. Oh, I'm gonna. Oh, life.
You know me, I never sweat the small stuff.
I know that about you.
So then I have other news for you. In the 8 hours, I have other news. In the 8 hours that you have not seen me and you've had a frustrating day.
Very frustrating.
What do you think I would like to hear now after my working at Hacks for 2 days? What do you think would be the last thing I'd want to hear?
We forgot to press record, Andy. Come back.
You've been exposed, Andy.
Wow.
You've been exposed.
Yeah.
And they won't tell you who it is.
Uh-huh.
Someone, they asked, at one point, I think I felt a chink in the armor of their system when they said, who are you near? Who are you near? They said, when I said, were you near any of the lead actors? So then that made me feel like maybe it's one of the lead actors.
Yeah.
Plus Patton was coughing the whole day.
Okay.
And so.
Was this, did you get an expo? Oh, this was actually the crew, the production calling you.
This is HR.
Okay.
Yeah. Am I saying that
Puffin
right?
stuff?
What is health and how do you say health and resources?
Human resources is what HR means.
Okay, that's better. Okay. I think I confused it with the health and retirement or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Right. But the point is they deal with it. They have a whole unit that deals with it.
By the
whole unit. Yeah.
By the way, let me just before you continue with the story, and I'll put your finger in the spot.
Oh, I hope I know
when
it.
You said when you said I got exposed, I had no idea what you were talking about, and I thought you meant like as an asshole,
or gay or something like. Well, gay wouldn't be. Yeah. You would be fine. Yeah, that's true.
I thought it was like one of those letters I got saying, "I know you're a bad person."
That would be terrible. I don't think I would talk about it so up tempo.
Did. Did you just freeze?
It was sad when the
internet
went down.
We're back.
And now we're on the hot spot.
Now, okay, so I think I should not. So why don't we do this all the time? Because it's more money to do it that way?
Right.
Or you ruin your phone?
Right. But now it's a hot spot.
Hotspot.
Hotspot.
I didn't know you could even do that effect, and the viewers or the listeners or the viewers could see it. Can you imagine if this was available as a YouTube? We'd have less followers.
It's true. All right.
But I didn't know you had a whole light show in that room.
I know. I just got this new light, and it has this really useless feature where you can just go click it, and it starts doing like disco lights.
And this is something that are you 12 years old?
In my heart, I am.
Yeah, is that why you got it?
No, it's not. It's a regular lamp, but this LED technology, Andy, you can do
the LED technology.
You can do a lot of shit.
I'll tell you why I know about this, because Susan loves the LED lights in the house around Christmas. I love them so much. We have them everywhere, all kinds of array of these LED string lights.
Fantastic. Oh.
I hear something. Can I sneeze? I may sneeze, okay?
Okay.
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
Okay, here we go.
Will you hurry up? This is a hot spot.
Pickles says, listening to a lot of Mark Knopfler, which is hard to spell, and he is quite mournful at times, and also rocks. Okay, who's next? Well, let me just tell you right now that I love Mark Knopfler, and I never didn't like him, but I'm almost not amazed, but I think he's quite an impressive guitar player because it's not just that style. It's like he brought his own style in a way. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe other people played that way.
And yet no personality whatsoever.
Well, is this true?
I think that's one of his rock star stumbling blocks, is he has no actual personality.
Are you telling me that if I wrote songs as good as Dire Straits, and I was him, and then let's say I'm a different person, but then I'm not entertaining, it's all over?
No, yeah, I mean you do as good as Dire Straits.
They did pretty good.
Exactly.
But maybe somebody else in the band was more interesting on. First of all, when you go see musicians, nobody wants to hear. I mean,
here's my point was illustrated when I went, he has no personality, and you went, really? Because you couldn't think of his personality.
Well, I mean, I haven't talked to him. I need to talk to him.
Dan Marsh says, "Hey,
wait. So he also has the worst pictures on Much Music or More Music or whatever. He's got the
headband with the curly hair. It's like 70s McEnroe.
Yeah. My apologies. Now, please continue.
Yeah. Dan Marsh says, "Hey guys, what books have you read lately, and how bad does a book have to be before you give up on it?" Well, if it's fiction, I'm ready to cut loose very quickly. If it's bad, maybe 50 pages tops. If it's sucky. But I'm reading. I just read David Milch's book called Life's Work, which is really great. Yeah,
because it's about his progression, what's happening with him, right?
Not really. I mean,
cool.
some of it is, but that's what I think that's what sparked him to write it. But it's not
right.
It's not what it's about.
Well, why did I say that then? Because I researched it better. Do you know how he's doing? No,
I do not know how he's doing.
I know.
What else? I've been reading this is Orson Welles, the book of interviews with him and Bogdanovich. That's
probably good.
It is indeed.
That movie, I watched that movie again. I don't know if you've seen that movie. The movie about that movie he made. That Orson Welles made that movie.
The Other Side of the Wind. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Did you see? Did you watch The Other Side of the Wind?
No. Is it good?
No, it's okay. That's all right.
But what was I going to say? I had something to say in reaction to him. Oh, I thought, are you directly making fun of me because we know I don't read anymore because of the audiobooks. I can't read a book.
Well,
get through it?
What are you fake reading?
Well, I read the New Yorker. But I don't so if I get something interesting, I get a book on tape or whatever.
Right, but what are you book on taping?
Haven't been doing anything.
Okay.
I think that's what I should have answered.
Is really what you do.
No. This thing that I've been listening to it doesn't even matter. I'm listening to this guy's thing about the mind that I told you about. I listen to that periodically, and then I listen to True Crime. This guy chopped up 55 men before he was 21. And now stay tuned for Chop It, Kill Man. Well, why would he be a DJ who's a true crime guy?
I don't know, but if his name was Choppy Kill Man, I would listen to him.
That would be nerve-wracking. Tweet Bahar says, and I'm not angry about this, but it's a typical, I can never get angry. Tweet, the diddly do. But he says 4 notable Quakers, Richard Nixon, Ruth Paine, Lee Harvey Oswald, CIA handler, Kevin Bacon, Andy's mom. I don't really have a point. You're damn right you don't have a point, Tweet Bahara. Richard Nixon said he was a Quaker because his mother was a member of some sect. I tried to say this before, Tweet. I don't know if you listened to the show. I've tried to say before that there are different sects of Quakerism that are a little bit more.
Hey, what is this? You have to protect your mom from Richard Nixon? Come on.
Well, he got to me. Tweet knew this would get to me. He got to me. He knew it. These people, they're pulling my chain.
You put Kevin Bacon in.
I like Kevin Bacon. So, I don't like the Bacon Brothers. Do you like the Bacon Brothers?
I like them on a roll. I don't know what that means.
Oh, they're a band.
I know what they are.
Oh. I thought you were saying like when they get on a roll.
No, I meant like I was making fun of their name, really.
Well, here's the thing. I love Kevin Bacon, but here's the thing. The
Bacon Brothers are okay. That's my answer.
Okay, they are okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
All right. Eastside 76 says, from the, quote, jokes I send to Thought Spiral, you can tell I'm not a, quote, stand-up, a, quote, comedian, or, quote, funny. But what if I started touring using material from other comics like George Carlin, Richard Jenny, Sam Kinison, etc.? I mean, they aren't using it.
You know what, Eastside 76? You may be surprised to hear me say this, but you're on the right track. You should definitely look into plagiarizing newspaper articles.
Right.
Yeah. Don't go this route. Do not go this route. George
Jessel also not alive.
They are, and that's right. So you could use, or you could use the guy who goes, who's the guy who, on Jerry Lewis one? I would have
Charlie Callis?
Yeah, that's right. Charlie Callis is not using, and I went,
but Lenny Schultz is. Oh no, he died. I think Lenny Schultz died too.
Like recently?
Probably. I don't know.
This is the worst. This is the worst memory section.
To Lenny Schultz's family, if that's not true.
I'm telling you one thing.
Well, actually, Lenny himself, you know.
I'm telling you right now that nobody you mentioned.
Lenny,
listens to our
if
show.
You're listening.
That had a little Stooges thing, right?
It was a little bit at the end.
Like a little curly. That was very good. B.D. West says Barbara Walters and the retired Pope Benedict died within hours of each other. Coincidence or coinky dinksbury? Is that like a Roseanne?
I think Quinky Dinkspiracy is how he's going.
Right. Where was Hillary? Where was Hunter? Just asking questions, people. Meet me at Vatican Pizza. Not a bit. Well, BD West, I know it's a bit, but you have actually parodied these idiots who actually believe these things, who actually believe that Hunter Biden's laptop is really the biggest thing that's happened in the last 20 years.
It is the biggest thing.
Now, let me ask you a question. No, is there a chance that Hunter Biden had like drug problems? Is there a chance of that?
I think there's a chance of that.
Oh, so we need to rip the cover off of that? Is that what we need to do?
You know what he was doing? He was grooming crack.
Wasn't he one of the kids in the accident who lived, or did he come along later?
No,
I think he was.
I think the boys lived in the accident.
Yeah. Well, why don't you leave him alone, you fucking idiot? Who am I talking about now?
I don't know.
No. Who's making fun of them?
No one was making fun of them.
Oh, this is how I feared it would go.
You spun this into your own little thing.
I can't remember what we were talking about. I don't even want to go back.
You just went straight to being Peter Finch.
Where was Hunter? I don't know. I lost the thread. BD West comes back and he says, I think don't know I think the Hives are my new favorite band. Any garage rock band you guys like, recommend? I don't know much about the Hives, and I've heard they are good. And I don't, what's a garage band like? What's that band that I don't want to drop the name, but I was on the Letterman with them, and they're like from New Jersey, and they have like that garage band sound. Come on, you saw me.
I have no fucking idea.
Oh, why don't you shut the fuck up? I don't know anything. So anyway, nobody knew. Nothing new for me.
Yeah, I got nothing new going on.
All right. Okay. Stephen Elton Yates, I'm taking over. I'm going to do more than one question in a row because I've been getting a lot of people emailing me. What's with the back and forth? Why don't you we're bored after the second question.
Where's my Kindler block?
Stephen Elton Yates says, I'm gonna do this question with a slightly different voice. See if you like it. Stephen Elton Yates says, second question.
Anything different is good when it comes to your
How come
voice.
this is okay? Serious question. I and others have used Yiddish words in our queries and comments. Do either of you take umbrage at Gentiles like me co-opting the lexicon? I don't wish to cause service. Good punchline. Stephen Elton Yates. I used to think, man, this guy, he subcontracts this out to writers, his questions. He should spend less time doing them, but he nails it, and he's nailed it again.
But you're not going to answer his question. Do you have a problem?
No.
You don't have a problem when the guys bring the Yiddish?
I don't. I have a problem with the George Soros is a globalist.
George
Let's
Soros,
round
you
up.
mean?
What did I say?
George Soros?
Boom. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with the Gentiles when they're really get anti-Semitic. So I don't think that a Gentile just had a family going, oh, what are you guys, schwitzing or something? You can't tell they're a Nazi from that.
True enough.
Get back on the questions horse, Josh. The water's warm.
Jason, the voice of a very small nation, Pa, says...
I'm glad I didn't try that one.
Jelvis, Spike, it's probably about 40-ish degrees in downtown Rupert, Idaho, sorry. I recently watched a doc about Jeff Lynne called Mr. Blue Sky. It was pretty good. Would recommend. Very talented and seems like a pretty chill dude. That's all I got this week. Sorry.
Well, thank you, Jason. I've always wondered about Jeff Lynne is the one who's in Traveling Wilburys, right?
Yes, and ELO is really his.
Right. So I don't know anything about ELO. I really know. I mean, the music I've heard, I haven't loved.
Yeah.
And I know Randy Newman used to make fun of them.
Yeah.
But then I like this Jeff Lynne with the Wilburys a lot. I think he's great on that album. So I don't know what to say.
That's okay.
What do you think?
I saw that doc. I only kind of like ELO. I like Mr. Blue Sky. That's a good song. But I I mean, Jeff Lynne is not an interesting dude, much like Mark Knopfler. Not an interesting dude, but I absolutely see, because of his chillness, why people loved him as a producer. And, I think he has, I can see why his energy would be great in a studio.
Now, don't you worry, like I would worry, Jeff Lynne, he's a big fan of the podcast. He's going to listen to that and get offended.
I do worry, but I sleep.
Don't call me Boopsy. Don't call me Boopsy, he says. What do you call vanilla cream filled donuts with chocolate frosting? Not the ones with the yellow pudding. Those are Boston cream. The most common name seems to be Cream Delight, which makes me very uncomfortable. I hate that name. I call it type 2 diabetes ahoy. That's what I call it.
I can't top that. Dan Marsh.
Did we talk about that Chips Ahoy was based on Ships Ahoy already? Because I just realized that like a year ago.
Well, I beat you to it.
So you knew that your whole life?
Well,
it's like
since childhood.
It's good.
Dan Marsh says sports announcers love a good nickname for a player. Andy, these players have crazy names these days.
These days they do. You can't tell the boys from the girls.
If you'd gone into sports, says Dan Marsh, what would your nickname have been?
I think Choker.
Choker?
I think that would have been my Choker. Oh, Kindler's going up. Choker. Or bad. Just like bad. Not bad, good, like bad. He's bad.
All right. He's a problem for the other team, they like to say.
I stress that they yelled Kindler, Kindler, Kindler at the biggest relay race at the end of camp that everyone waited all summer for. I ran inside the cones, and the other team chanted my name. I can hear it right now.
My fear was always that I would get one of those big guy nicknames, like, like Tank or Tiny or something like that. Like, that's really what I don't want.
You don't want Stretch?
I don't want Stretch.
Well, Stretch, okay.
Because it's ironic.
What's wrong with Jelvis and Spike?
Jelvis and Spike I can live with.
Oh, that wasn't the original question, though. Johnny Whoops says, have either of you ever met or worked with any MASH cast members? This is an interesting that you bring this up. No.
I have, let's see, I've worked with recurring MASH characters, but never full cast members.
Let me think about that, too. No. I haven't worked with any of them either. You mean the psychiatrist guy?
I met Alan Arbus. I met him. But it was,
is he an actor?
It was more in a jump-starting a car situation than it was a working situation.
You stopped on the side of the road?
In the Beverly Glen Market parking lot.
And just happened to walk by him?
Yes.
That's a good neighbor.
And I worked with James Hong, who made many MASH appearances.
Mm-hmm.
And probably a few more along the way, just because MASH was on for 11 years.
Okay, now I can admit to that. I roomed with BJ. I don't know what his real name is, but I roomed with BJ Honeycutt.
Yeah, in a tent.
Jamie Farr and I went to Catholic school together as a young age.
Really? Back in Toledo?
And I don't know if this is her real name, but Hot Lips Houlihan and I were very close.
Which one? The movie Hot Lips or the TV?
Right now, if you had asked me 15 years ago or before the memory of being on, I could have told you both of the characters because the woman in the movie was not the movie on the TV show.
Was not the movie on the TV show.
Mary Kay Place?
No.
That's a bad guess.
Sally Kellerman.
She was great. And she was also great. I think maybe she passed away. I don't know. She was also great on Laura Keitlinger's show.
She did pass away, yes.
Did you ever watch Laura Keitler?
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Did you like? I liked Laura's show. It was pretty cool. It was funny at times.
I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, well, you don't see anything because you're so full of yourself. I'm trying to cause an argument. I read in the thing where you could cause an argument, you get much fucking with the what are those things called?
Ratings.
The Yagadas.
Ratings.
No, when you the equations that they use to make you go from angry to mad to shooting someone. The algorithms. That's right. The algorithms. Why don't you ask the next question? And the only reason I would like you to take over the next question because I'm going through a lot of self-hate right now, and I'm hoping it'll pass by the time the question's over.
I don't know. I'm going through outward hate, so... Christopher Citro says, from the audiobook of Bob Dylan's new book, The Philosophy of Modern Song, he reads it along with Jeff Bridges, Steve Buscemi, John Goodman, Helen Mirren, Sissy Spacek. When the first Thought Spiral book is published, who reads the audiobook along with you guys? And then there's a little collage of the Thought Spiral universe here. There's Dylan and Mason and Zuzu and
Zozo.
Sheldon Leonard and
Mike Connors.
Huell Hauser's there, and
So maybe that's not Mike
there,
Connors.
Foster Brooks, James Stewart, Dennis Miller, Jose Feliciano. The whole Spiral verse is here.
Who's not there? I don't know on this one. I'm gonna cede the whole question to you.
There's even Gregory Peck as Mengele. We're canceling the project, Mengele. You're not canceling the project for some insolent Jew. We're canceling the project, Mengele.
Mengele.
Brings back so many memories.
Why didn't you read the other two questions below? Because I'll read one of them if you want me to. Seth Dick the third.
Oh, okay. Because I was scroll happy.
Seth Dick the third says, few remember that the last season of Three's Company did tie the few loose ends left. The last 3 episodes are on Logo TV right now. John Ritter was underrated, Mama Dick the third says. And who are we to argue? I am with you to argue. No, I don't want to go after John Ritter. Okay, he was not. He was good. I don't know why I was going to get angry. Why is he underrated? Didn't people love him?
Well, I don't know. He almost made you angry.
Well, he died preternaturally young.
Yes, he did. Same way as Alan Thicke.
How was that way?
With some kind of heart embolism thingy that just kind of blows up and you're dead.
And then you don't know it your whole life, and then boom.
Yeah. Richard Cole says, Dear Spike and Josh, it's really catching on, Andy. It's really catching on. I mean, Spike. I missed submitting questions 2 weeks in a row. I'm sorry I let you down because one of you usually says something funny in response to my tweet. How's your blood pressure? Mine's about 100/65. I don't have diabetes yet, but it's coming. A1C 6.0.
What are you trying to torture me? Because you have a I'm going to use this word all the time. Preternaturally low blood pressure. Preternaturally low. That's or you're too low. If you were 90/50, you would be having low blood pressure. And the 6.0, come back to me when it's 6.7.
Tom the Tom says, are there any new movies you've gotten into? No.
I want to watch The Fabelmans.
I haven't seen The Fabelmans. I saw The Banshees of Inisherin, and I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once.
How was that? That got a lot of play at the Globes.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
What?
That got a lot of play at the Globes.
Look, just because I talk some of the show business lingo, it doesn't mean that you have to put me down. That the Globes, that got a lot of play. I don't even think got a lot of play is concurrent.
No, but still, it made me nauseous.
You better check yourself, John. You better check yourself. Have you heard that one?
I did. Then I wrecked myself.
But it wasn't very good, you're saying. It was okay.
Which?
Everything All at Once.
No, you know, no. I mean, I get why people like it, and it's inventive and creative, and it was not made for my attention span.
Okay. Well, you heard from the man himself. Halpin Fraser says, Andy, any more details on serving Hanna Mandalikova? Also, some of the best tennis players' names to say as Dennis Miller are Ivan Gulika. Hey, all of a sudden this Ivan Gulika. Hey, who are you? Yevgeny Kafelnikov? Any others? Got any other Dennis Miller?
Well, Andre Agassi is pretty good. Andre Agassi, who's that? You could use them different because it's like Ivan Gulagang is more of a mid-sentence like, hey, Ivan Gulagang, when are you going to serve me my meal?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And then, hey, he fired that at me like Yevgeny Kafelnikov. That's really a sentence ender, you know.
Yeah, I never realized there was so much to his one note
So
thing.
much nuance to that one note.
And he also does this, remember. And tell me if I'm wrong. Ba-da! Ba-da! You know what? People like Dennis Miller and, of course, Bill Maher, who decided to do... I don't know if Dennis Miller did stand up, but we have to suffer through that asshole's Bill. I don't watch the show, but you have to see his horrible stand-up. He's shoving his stand-up down your throat. It's the only way people would listen. I know he sells out. You know, all I would need now is to hear from a third Jew. That's all I got to say.
But you're not going to read it?
A third Jew was hoping to hear a fourth straight edition of Am I Spike in TS 290, but it didn't happen. I just love how delighted Andy gets when he finds out. Is it about the diabetes? Is that why they call me Spike?
Yeah, it's a blood sugar joke.
I had to remember it. Question: is there hack music like hack comedy? Is it just selling out or something else? What singers and bands are hacks? She ran cold and wildfire.
Is that Dan Fogelberg he was calling a hack there?
No, I don't know who did that song.
I think that's Dan Fogelberg, isn't it?
Well, he fucked up. No, of course you can sell out. I mean, I think you can tell when a song is schlocky quicker than you can tell any other form of stuff.
Yeah, there absolutely is hack music.
Yeah, because I feel sad.
If you're writing a song to make it a hit, chances are it's a hack music.
Right. Like here's the thing. Barry Manilow, I think, kind of
if you're
writes
chasing, you're a hack.
Yeah, just by the very notion of it. But I think Barry Manilow is not a hack. I just don't like his style of music, and I'll never like someone who writes I am music.
The problem with Barry Manilow, whatever it may be, is not that he's a hack.
Right. The way you said it, and you were so sure of yourself. It reminded me of that one time we had sex. Boop, boop, boop. Jokes about gay people. Boop,
I just
boop,
wanted
boop.
to leave the concept that there is, in fact, a problem with Barry Manilow firmly in place.
Yeah, I think enough said on that one. John Dunbar says, I heard Holly Knight on a podcast. She expressed.
Let me read this one.
Go ahead.
I heard Holly Knight on a podcast. She expressed great annoyance over the scene in Who Do You Want Me to Be, where Michael claims he wrote Obsession in 5 minutes and it's made him millions. She said he wrote it with her and it took a lot longer. Nice plug nonetheless.
Whoa. Shots fired. Right?
Well, first of all, I mean, it was on the heels of him saying that these were all written with Holly Knight. So, but the sentence does come out where he says, well, I wrote it in 5 minutes and it's made me $3 million. But I also hit up Holly Knight twice to be in the movie and she turned me down. So
something's going on there.
So had she been in the movie, I would have absolutely followed up him saying that with her going, yeah, that was a really tough song to write. Actually, we both, because
that's true. Why did she turn you down? Do you know why?
She just wasn't into it. That's fine. But then she goes bitching about, no, I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I don't know who she is, really. I should know who she is.
She's a songwriter, but she wrote Obsession with Michael, and she wrote like Simply the Best for Tina Turner. And
oh, that's a good song. Did she write it in 5 minutes, though? Simply the... I don't like that song, Simply the Best. Simply the Best.
But she wrote a lot of hits.
Holly, look. Holly, if you're listening, come on, Holly. If you didn't agree to participate in the movie, come on, Holly. That's about as much as I'm doing.
But I tried very hard to
make it work.
Well, no, to not put hyperbole into the movie whenever possible.
That was the greatest thing you did with it.
Thank you.
Get it? Get it?
No.
That's the greatest thing you did.
Nope,
that was the most amazing.
There we go. Now you're getting close to the joke.
Do you remember that song? Close to the jokes. Close to the hoo-hoo-hoo.
Greg Kelly says, my dog Archie, pictured here, very cute little fella.
That's a cutie dog.
Is having a first birthday tomorrow, and I hope James Mason and I guess Howard Cosell could wish him well. I love the.
Is that a slam against my?
And I guess Howard Cosell.
This. And I guess. Oh, I'm going to be charitable and say that he was saying he's picking of from the character.
Right, from the big, wide universe.
I guess it's
of
Andy
Andy
Cosell.
No, I think he was saying, how can I include Andy? Well, and I guess Howard Cosell could say something too.
This is Howard Cosell. I'm here with Roberto Domingo, and we're at the dog park. That's not him. That's like Casey Kasem.
It was really bad, really bad. Well, I personally would like to wish young Archie a very happy birthday. And I'd like to toast him with some Thunderbird wine. It has an unusual taste all its own.
Would you stop? 17 people have died listening to this podcast because they ran out and bought
dead. They're just
Thunderbird wine.
blind.
I mean, and you're selling it. You should. I would like you to come back from the dead so I can yell at you again. That was weak. Sous vide. Why am I saying it like... sous vide. Oh, that's where it came from.
Uh-huh.
I knew I'd get it. I knew I would get it. You knew you'd get it 5 years after you started using when sous vide came out? Yeah, it's pretty good. When you think of a squirrel, what color?
This is Andy in a chorus line. God, I hope I get it. I hope I get it.
I want to tell you, I work with Mario Cantone. What a sweetheart that guy is.
Yeah,
I never got a chance to work with him before. Well, what's your comment going to be on it?
I was just going to say you shouldn't have made all those gay jokes about him all those years.
Oh, but I was back then in the 80s. It was considered edgy to marginalize an entire group because of their sexual preference. That was considered fun.
It's so true.
Oh, you do that so well. That's a joke from that's a Rick Overton joke. Sous vide says, when you think of a squirrel, what color is it? And I'm going to go first, gray.
I'm going to go gray as well. But I can absolutely picture a brown squirrel.
That's right. But Rocky was...
In a pinch.
And what was Rocky?
Rocky was gray.
Why don't you read not the last question, because I know we have a lot of... I'll read this then. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Walt Nada.
Walt Nada says, breakfast without regard to its effect on your body. Am I missing something?
I don't know.
Breakfast without regard to its effect on your body. I say no.
Let me just say that is not the most important tweet of the day.
I think it could be more complex than we're getting.
Might be.
Breakfast without regard. See, and I can't go that way because I could have a nervous tummy. I want to make sure before all my shoots that I eat crackers. Now we're going to Instagram.
I actually ate an Egg McMuffin today, Andy.
I like that when I had it last.
Because I had to go to the trainer at 8 a.m. and for some reason it just took all of my energy at the trainer today, and I was really hungry and tired, and
you loved it, right?
It was delightful.
Did you have coffee with it? Because they make great coffee. They make okay coffee.
You know what I did? I had a unsweetened iced tea instead. Caffeine.
Do you know what I had eaten from there? They used to have this thing. It was like an Egg McMuffin, but the two breads were waffles. They had that at one point.
Oh, they have one with pancakes.
Then maybe that was it.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes I thank God I have type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
So that I could just I'll have that horrible thing. No, you can't have it.
Can't have it.
Okay. Stay away from it.
I
wish I could.
I generally don't eat breakfast of any kind, but I needed one today, and that greased me right up good.
It greased you up good?
It greased me up good, yes.
Okay.
All right, we're going to the gram.
Is that how you call it?
Yeah.
Are you down with it?
I'm down with the
gram. You better check yourself.
Oh, damn it, I wrecked myself again. I keep missing it.
Is that from a song? Check yourself before you wreck yourself? No.
It's just a saying that horrible people say.
If I was your brother and you lived with me, you would have killed me many years ago from questions like that.
I would have killed you before paying you every year, that's for sure.
Are you going to take that out?
No.
A lot of people say, I cannot believe you guys.
Andy.
Shut up.
I'm on the gram.
Okay, go ahead.
I enjoyed that. Daisy Petunia says, I've been watching King of Queens reruns for weeks to get glimpses of Andy. I thought you were a friend from the package plant.
You're mixing up Everybody Loves Raymond with King of Queens. It's a common thing. Many people mistake me for Patton Oswalt. I don't know who should be insulted by that.
No one. I think it's a wash.
That's right. Wait a second. You're supposed to go, no way, buddy. You are way more classically handsome than the
You're taller,
Patton.
I think.
Yeah, I was so excited because we had like Natasha Leggero, me, Mario Cantone, and we made fun of the tall guy.
Hi-ho, it's off to work we go.
Do they have those little voices because their bodies are smaller?
Yes.
Is that scientifically true?
Yes. Of course. It doesn't resonate as much. Zeke Fossey says, what's the status of sequel to Fiddler's Hose is what it says, actually.
Oh, is that a joke? This is about Fiddling Hose?
I guess so.
Well, I don't want to say anything because I'm not allowed to say anything. I shouldn't say anything because it's not for sure, but nothing is going to happen with that. I think it's
a solid position to stake out. 15.
I'm still very happy I did it, though. That was fun.
Me too. Dan Wade asks, what's the funniest word?
Oh, that's easy. Chagrin. No, I don't know. I could think of this all night long and I wouldn't know what would be funny. I mean, if you go too far down, a K sounds always funny. It just goes, right. What are you going to do? You can't win with that argument.
All right. Kumquat is funny.
I didn't know it was coming. That's why I laughed so loud. See, if some people think words are funny by their sound, I would probably go the other way with it. I think the funniest word is vestibule.
Okay.
Thank you. Or foyer.
I like foible better than foyer.
Ooh.
Foibles ain't bad. Libathena says, question to the dream team. How many cameos will I have to buy to get a tight 5?
Oh, I know what they're saying, right?
That they
like they want me to do a shorter one. Are they taking the material from my cameos?
I don't know exactly, but I think they probably hadn't bought so many cameos that they were taking shots at it.
I don't know. That sounds like a riddle to me. I'm not good with riddles.
I don't know if that means getting a tight 5 out of Andy or getting a tight 5 as a result of Andy's work.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it's. Maybe it's good that it's not clear.
The light herder says,
I love the light herder. Go ahead.
I've invented a movie that creates itself, watches itself, then deletes itself, all within a nanosecond. A few billion masterpieces were crafted, thoroughly enjoyed, and then destroyed as you read this comment. Wow.
Wow.
You know what I think is happening?
Hey, you know what? Stay away from the wacky weed before you submit your questions. Cha-cha. I never saw you scratch that area of yourself before.
I felt like a dog almost there. If you could produce an on-ice extravaganza, the premiere at Schwann Super Rink, based on a film, what film would that be? That's what Mark wants to know.
I got lost in the middle of that.
If you were to base something on ice.
Oh.
Like Schindler's List on ice.
Oh, okay. Which would I pick?
Well, yeah.
I would go with. Okay, I think everything I'm saying is hacky. Gilligan's Island on ice.
I'd go with
The Sopranos.
My Dinner with Andre.
On ice.
On ice.
Yeah.
PB Adams says, I live up in Sonoma County and we lost power for 6 days. By the time the electricity came back on, I had identified with 1890 life and I was scared and hostile to electricity. What would each of you do on day 6 without power?
Move. I think I'd move by then, get away from the area.
I probably will have just about finished eating my wife by then.
He's kidding, folks. You can't finish a whole person in one sitting.
And finally, Paul. Yeah, Dave, let's finish up.
Yes. Finally, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The final question, sir. Yes.
Jacked Up Podcast says, why are you so incredible?
Because we know what people like and we give it to them.
It's true. I think that's it in a nutshell.
When you got it, don't lose it. If it's broken, don't fix it. If you break it, don't use it.
We are here for the hobbyists. If
you want to contribute to our show, please send money to Andy Kindler, care of...
Wait! Usurper! Usurper!
And now stay tuned for Chop It, Chop It, Chop It, Kill Man.